Welcome back to another Destiny 2 Lightfall video, everybody. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new exotic glaive called the Vexcalibur. This is hands down one of the strongest exotic glaives in the game right now. The only other exotic glaive better than this is the new Winter Bite, but that is in the heavy slot. Vexcalibur is in the special slot, so it's much more easy to come by ammo, and I'm really digging the exotic perk that this glaive gives you. I'm going to go over exactly what this glaive does, and then I'm going to pair this glaive with the strongest Strand Warlock build in the game currently. And let me tell you guys, with the exotics I have equipped, paired with the new Strand fragments and aspects, this build freaking slaps. So Guardians, let's get into this. The Vexcalibur exotic glaive, as you can see, it looks really good. Looks so good I had to get this ornament. Here's what it looks like without it. Still looks really cool, but I think the ornament is just way better. This glaive comes with ballistic tuning, extended mag, the exotic trait perk Perpetual Loophole, deal additional melee damage while protected by an overshield. Defeating targets with melee final blows while the overshield is active will refresh the overshield. You also got Handlaid Stock, and the exotic perk Mirror Distribution Matrix fires a spread equipped with a quick draining shield. Blocking damage with your shield gradually bestows void overshields to yourself and nearby allies. So as soon as you start to block, after about 1 second, you're going to get a buff in the lower left hand side of your screen. It lasts for about 8 seconds. As soon as you see that buff come up, the very next kill you get with your glaive will refresh your overshield, and it is a very quick refresh. I think I have some footage right here of me doing the impossible. I'm actually punching Cursed Thrall in the face and I'm surviving. Typically not the smartest thing to do, but this glaive makes it possible. And I'm sure you guys were already aware, but this is a craftable glaive tied to an exotic mission. So this isn't even its final form. It's gonna get even better, as Acid would say, even nastier. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel with notifications on, because I will be making updated videos and guides about this glaive specifically, because I am loving it so far. And Guardians, that is pretty much the gist of the glaive. What really sets this off is the Strand subclass. Over here on the Broodweaver Warlock subclass, a setup that I got going on right now. You've probably seen this build before. It's the strongest Warlock build in the game right now, in my opinion. You've got the Arcane Needle, sling a woven needle that will embed your target, unraveling them. Activate your melee ability again to chain up to 2 additional attacks. Now when this melee starts to unravel enemies, they're going to take additional damage, and they create unraveled projectiles that seek out nearby targets. So something like the Seven Nanites from Outbreak Perfected, that's what it reminds me of. And unraveling rounds actually helps with stunning barrier champs, and fully unraveling a target will turn them into a tangle that you can pick up and throw. Repairing this with the Shackle Grenade. Shackle Grenade allows you to suspend targets. They're going to be immobilized by a web of strand matter, lifting them into the air. This also stuns unstoppable champions. And the reason we're using the Shackle Grenade is because you combined it with the Mind Spun Invocation Strand aspect. This states that your Shackle Grenade has enhanced functionality. You actually press and hold your grenade button to consume your Shackle Grenade and activate Weaver's Trance. And then every single final blow you get with Weaver's Trance active, you're going to create a suspending detonation, which is going to immobilize pretty much the entire room. I mean, the detonation isn't as big as an entire room, but the other exotics and perks that we're using is going to basically spread the unraveling rounds to the entire room. And for our other aspect, we have the Weaver's Call. Cast your Rift, weave 3 threadlings, and deploy any threadlings you have perched. Now moving on to the fragments, we have Thread of Mind. Defeating suspended targets grants class ability energy. Very important for the build, because remember, our grenade is going to be suspending everything. So we're going to be getting our Rift back all the time. And we have Thread of Continuity. Suspend, unravel, and sever effects applied to targets have increased duration. Gives you a +10 to strength. So this means that the enemies are going to be suspended in the air for even longer. And we have Thread of Fury. Damaging targets with a tangle grants melee energy. So all you have to do is pick up one of the little strand balls, chuck it over at a group of enemies, and you pretty much get your entire melee back off of only damaging a couple of enemies. And we have Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. Gives you a -10 to your discipline, but it is very much worth it because you get your grenade back super fast. So in combination with Thread of Mind, this is always going to make sure that our class ability Rift is up. Paired with Thread of Generation, our grenade is always going to be up. Then moving on to the exotic armor that we're using the Necrotic Grips. Necrotic Grips pairs perfectly with the Strand subclass. The exotic perk is Grasp of the Devourer. Damaging combatants poisons them, dealing increasing damage over time. Defeating a poison combatant spreads the condition, so this activates with our melee. And remember, Guardians, our Arcane Needle is going to unravel enemies, and the enemies are going to take additional damage from the unraveling, paired with the Necrotic Grip's poison, which is going to deal increasing damage over time. This is a nasty, nasty combo. And keep in mind, all these enemies that are unraveling and poison are simultaneously just going to be suspended in the air, unable to move or do anything. I'm sure you guys already know, but this build is crazy good. Moving on to all the armor mods, I mainly got Discipline, Resilience, and Recovery mods to make sure we get our Rift and a Grenade back as fast as possible. On the helmet, we got Special Ammo Finder because the exotic glaive we're using uses special. We got Font of Wisdom to gain a bonus to Intellect while I have my armor charges so we can keep popping our super. We've got the Void Siphon mod on. The Vexcalibur exotic glaive is void, so we're always going to be creating orbs with this. On the gloves, I got a melee kickstart, a grenade kickstart, and a Font of Vigor, which gains me a bonus to my strength. Now you can change out these melee kickstarts and grenade kickstarts. Personally, on this build, I have only a tier 3 in strength, which is why I opted for a melee kickstart and a Font of Vigor. But if you just wanted to focus on having more of your melee or just more of your grenade, you can slot like 3 grenade kickstarts or 3 melee kickstarts, however you want to do it. I just thought that this was a pretty good in-between balance for me. Then on the chest piece, we've got Void Reserves and Charged Up. Charged Up increases the maximum number of stacks of armor charge you can carry by 1. Then on my legs, I am rocking 3 Void Weapon Surges. This states that your Void Weapons gain a small bonus to damage while you have any armor charge. Your armor charge now decays over time. And like I said earlier, the Vexcalibur is void, and I'm also using a Void Grenade Launcher. So these 2 weapons right here pretty much at all times are going to be buffed, and the percentage increase for having the weapon surges on is somewhere around 20%, which is not bad at all considering all you got to do is pick up an orb. Then on the class item, I'm running Time Dilation. Your decaying armor charge has a longer duration, so I believe whenever you pick up an orb you get a 10-second timer, but with Time Dilation I believe it bumps it up to 15. And then I'm rocking 2 Outreach mods. Like I said, my strength stat is pretty low, so this is going to help get that back, because a main part to this build is you want to start off every engagement with a melee. You throw out your melee, they start unraveling, they become poisoned from the necrotic grips. That poison starts to increase until they die. Then all you got to do is block just for a couple of seconds with your glaive. You're going to get that overshield to start to go up. As soon as you see that you have that overshield buff in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, you get off a glaive kill and you have full overshield, and then you can just rinse and repeat. As you guys are probably seeing from the background gameplay, I can just run into groups of ads without a worry, because I know as soon as I get 1 kill off on a red bar or anything for that matter, my overshield is going to be at 100%. And that is pretty much going to do it for the build. Like I said, you guys need to try this out. Finish the campaign on your Warlock, because this is one of the strongest builds in the game and one of the coolest, strongest new exotic glaives in the game, the Vexcalibur. Every time a new glaive comes out, I play with it for about an hour and then I put it away. But with this one, I've been using it for quite a while and I'm really liking it, especially with this build. So Guardians, if you guys are new around here, subscribe to the channel for more content. Follow me over on Twitch for the live streams, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.